at the Azteca. Now, can I just say, this might be the funniest fucking build-up to a match I have ever seen in my life, because, and we're going to mention a couple things here. One, the altitude thing was brought up like it was, like,
Yeah.
like we were playing on the fucking moon.
That altitude fella, honestly.
Welcome to the Backseat Manager podcast, the football podcast for people who think they know better, but probably don't. I'm your host, John Luke, and joined with me today is my special guest and returning character to the show, Matt. Matt, how's it going?
Hello again.
Today is the first day of no World Cup fixtures, which is really beautiful for listening to a great podcast, which is now listened to across multiple platforms by the entire British public and the global population of the planet, because the podcast is ever growing, as you are well aware, Matt, with the good old statistics. But the round of 32 is finished, the round of 16 is finished, and it's time for us to go back across some of these things, see what's happened, and just have an all-round review. We've also got our predictions from the last episode, which we got most of them right. However, there are some shock results that I think we're both ready to talk about because, I mean, they were shocking. What can we say? But round of 32, let's go right back to the beginning. With the first shock upset of the whole tournament, Germany against Paraguay, with Paraguay beating Germany on penalties 4-3 after a 1-1 game. Nobody saw this coming. I mean, nobody. Like, how? How is all I can say to this.
Well, I don't know how you say how in German, but I would imagine that is the general consensus of that whole country. I don't know how.
I mean, it just goes to show that once a game goes down to penalties, it really is anyone's game. But I mean, Germany did score a second goal right at the end of the game, but it was ruled offside, I believe.
That's a foul on the goalkeeper.
Was it foul on keeper? But this is the thing is,
And,
it's that close. But why have they? This is my point. Is that I feel like they left that game so late to start trying to do anything, because they were, for the most part, I mean, they dominated possession of that game entirely, but they were the poorest side, I felt, for the majority of that game. I just don't know how they've managed to do that. But either way, Paraguay going through on penalties. It's a great showing from the Paraguayan players, I think.
Well, it was a good performance by them, especially taking the lead, which was unexpected. And then, I mean, Germany fought back. I wouldn't have ruled that goal out if I was on VAR duty. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But
I do think it was a bit soft.
It was massively soft. There's been a few, but the goalkeepers have been even more protected than usual.
But I mean, just some of these stats. I mean, possession.
Oh yeah.
Germany 65% possession, Paraguay 23%. It's only 12% contested possession. 12% is nothing. I mean, it really is just one-way traffic for the majority of the game. And yet somehow Paraguay not only score first, but hold off. I want to say a powerhouse team. Like, Germany was not a bad side whatsoever. However, I do think that, I think we mentioned this on earlier episodes, they are a team of there's no superstars in the German national side at the moment. They are quite just bang average players.
I think it's almost the opposite. I think they have got superstar players in Wirtz and Musiala, but I just don't think they have they don't have the player in every position, if you know what I mean. If you look at other teams who have two good wingers, a good striker, good midfielders, good players across the board, Germany are missing a proper good winger. I mean, Leroy Sané's past it.
Yeah, I do agree.
Wirtz is pushed out to the left. I mean, Musiala is playing with a metal, nuts and bolts in his ankle for his injury from start of the season. So he wasn't up probably fully there. Havertz as your striker is not always the best. I know he did score in that game, but
he scored in quite a lot of games in recent days, to be honest. Even in the Arsenal Champions League final, Havertz was one of the main players of that, scoring Arsenal's only goal. But he can't carry a German national side. He's not.
But his overall performance, I don't think.
No.
But then,
he's not Kane. He's not Mbappe.
No, he's not. No, he's not at all.
That's the thing. I love Havertz, but he really isn't like, he can't carry a nation on his back sort of thing.
That's what they were missing, really. But,
yeah.
I mean, when it went down to penalties, it was probably one of the most... I mean, I would not like to have been a fan of either team watching that penalty shootout because it was very up and down.
No, it was close. It was really close.
For Paraguay to just need to... two penalties to score one to win, missing them both. Germany restoring parity, having a chance to, shift the momentum, and then Jonathan Tah. I mean, it's not...
Great.
Well, it's no, it's not great at all. I
Am
mean,
I
I did
right in
see quite a
saying?
funny.
Am I right in saying
Oh,
it's
go
the
on.
first? It's the first penalty shootout at a World Cup that Germany have lost.
Yeah, the first
The
ever.
first ever Germany shootout they've lost, which I mean, if that doesn't show you how remarkable of a finish to that game it was,
Mm.
that's a historic game, regardless of anything.
Well, if you told a German fan from years prior that they were going to go out at around 32 to Paraguay, they would have been, oh my God. You told them it was penalties, they would probably fall off their chair. They would not believe that they could lose on penalties
No,
to
completely.
such a nation.
You couldn't write the narrative on that. However, it was short-lived for Paraguay either way, because the other half of the round of 32 bracket for them was France-Sweden. France, like everybody expected, obliterated Sweden 3-0, and
Mm.
then played Paraguay in the round of 16 and beat Paraguay 1-0. So, I mean, I'll be honest, it's sort of just an unfortunate luck of the draw for that kind of corner of the bracket, because I do think France was always the natural team to progress through that side, regardless of who won Germany Paraguay. I would have
Yeah.
taken France regardless. But I mean, Paraguay had a hell of a run, and it was a close game actually in the round of 16
Well,
between Paraguay and France.
it was awful.
It was an
I
awful
don't think there's
game.
any. I mean, the referee is the worst referee I've ever seen.
Hmm.
He lost control of the game minute
100%.
one.
100%. There was no control.
It's probably one of the most sort of because a lot of teams that are inferior to their opponents will play the dark arts, you know.
Wow. Yeah.
And I mean, South American teams are known for it, you
Hmm.
know. But that was just, I mean, that was far too much of a. Oh, no, it's far too much.
No,
I mean,
it
there's
is.
too
It is
much of a
just
bridge
bad.
to gap there in terms of quality that they've tried to bridge it with even more dark arts by, you know, Mbappe was kicked and I mean, David Beckham was sent off for less against Argentina when he was crucified, and this guy got away with it.
No,
I mean,
100%.
they didn't get a booking, Paraguay.
Yeah, not a single card came out in
Not a
that game.
single
I
card
don't
for
know
a
how.
team who kicked France left, right, and centre.
I will say if you bet on that game and you could bet for there to be over two cards, you're pissed.
Well, I think
You're fuming.
if you were gonna if there was a bet to be made for that game, it was Paraguay plus four yellow cards,
Yeah, and it was
maybe
just a
even a red,
joke. It was a joke. They got
and they didn't
nothing.
get any. I
I
mean,
mean,
another referee, there's two red cards, six yellows,
hmm,
but this referee decided that he wanted Paraguay to
to lose.
get away with it. Such a strange.
I mean, does that the refereeing in that game, does that worry you going forward? Because I mean, I know there's been a lot of, not just in this game, but there's been a lot of controversial games in these two rounds alone where there have been some cards, which we'll get on to in a minute. But how do you feel about the officiating so far in this tournament? Because I think it's a real back and forth whether it's been good, it's been bad, it's not been consistent, I don't think.
No, it has been consistent, and I think that game sort of epitomised it until maybe later games. But I think that, you know, especially Mbappe, but the whole French team did very, very well to just laugh it off. You know, you see Mbappe at the end, the goalkeeper wanted to shake his hand, and he just ignored it completely.
Hmm.
Big smile on his face. He's completely right to,
No,
because it was
absolutely.
obvious what's happening.
Absolutely.
So
It's a complete farce.
I think when you've got players with that mentality, they go far. You can sort of appreciate the situation of the game and
Hmm.
not get drawn into anything.
But yeah, it was definitely one that was. I mean, it was just poor all round, and I
It's the
think,
first game I've ever actually wanted France to win, just
yeah,
out of principle.
which I think speaks volumes being England fans.
It speaks very, very,
Speaks
very loudly.
extreme volumes being an England fan when you want France to actually win something. But I mean, now France are through to the quarterfinals and they play Morocco, who have had their own kind of back and forth to get forward. Excuse me. Morocco beating Netherlands, which actually was one of the only games that we predicted wrong. But you
Mm.
did say that you weren't happy about taking Netherlands. You could have taken Morocco either way.
Well, I think I said Morocco first, then Netherlands, then Morocco, then Netherlands. I went back and forth all throughout that. Spent about 10 minutes saying, "Oh, it's going to be this one, it's going to be this one, it's going to go to this tie, it's going to go this." And yeah, in the end, I thought the Netherlands had the momentum because Morocco looked pretty poor against
Mm.
Brazil. You know, for 70 minutes, looked pretty poor against Scotland. You know, sort of scraped past Haiti. Tough game for them, and I thought, well, Netherlands have actually done very well They've looked very good.
But yet another
But
game sorted on penalties. Morocco winning 3-2 on pens
well,
after a
another good
1-1
penalty
game.
shootout as well.
Another good penalty shootout. But even then, like during the game, possession-wise, 61% possession for Morocco, 31% possession for the Netherlands, the rest contested. I mean, it is also one of those one-way traffic games, I think. It was pretty bad. I mean, it looked back and forth at the time, but when you look at the stats, it really was Morocco really taking full control. And
But
I'd argue being unlucky to not win it in 90, to
Morocco
be
had a
honest.
lot of chances in the first half, especially.
Hmm.
But then what happens when you don't take them? Netherlands took the lead, and it took the 90th minute to get an equaliser.
I mean, just these
And
stats
then
alone: 11. Morocco had 11 shots, 5 on target. Netherlands had 6 shots, 2 on target. I mean, it just shows if you're not clinical, you get punished.
mm,
It's just ridiculous. But I mean, Morocco sauntering through to the round of 16, where they played Canada, who prior to the last recording, Canada had already sealed their spot into the round of 16, being the first game, if I'm not mistaken, they were the first game that played, and they had
yeah,
already
they
played
were.
afterwards. They beat South Africa 1-0, of course, with Jesse Marsh casually walking into a round of 16 tie and then getting absolutely thrashed 3-0 by Morocco in the round of 16.
Getting fresh, but believing
That
they
his
were the better
players had
side.
done better, yeah. I
He said,
mean,
"I'd rather be us than them."
I
And
don't think anyone agrees with that. I think everyone would rather be Morocco, who have
I
gone
think
through.
I'd rather be the winners. But I
Yeah,
know what he means. But I'd rather be the winner for
I
that
do
game.
get what he meant, but it
They
was
played well considering the final score. It wasn't a 3-0 game.
no, it was much
Um,
closer as well. If you're even looking at stats, I mean, Morocco only had 50% possession compared to Canada's 37, and the rest contested. And I'll be honest, in terms of shots, Canada had more shots. 10 shots, 3 on target, compared to Morocco's 5 shots, 4 on target. I mean, it really was just a Canada just not scoring the chances that they're making.
mm,
That's what it comes down to is, and we've seen it again and again in multiple games across these 2 rounds, is you can have as many shots as you like. You can be shooting as much as you want. However, if you aren't clinical in those moments when it counts, you suffer as a result. And this is how we've ended
mm,
up with these, like, I don't want to say shock results because I don't think that many of them are very shocking, but we end up with these results where, you end up with your 3-0s, you end up with going to penalties when you're like, how on earth have they managed to do that? And it's because
mm.
teams aren't being clinical. They're not taking the chances when they have them. And it just doesn't end at any point. But now France play Morocco in the first quarter final. I mean, that is a game in itself, France Morocco. I mean, it's a repeat of the 2018 World Cup semi-final, is it not?
Yes,
Because Morocco
yes,
beat Portugal, then play France in the semi-final, and then France go through to play Argentina in the final.
yeah.
So the first matchup of these teams since then, I believe, I don't think they played each other in the 2022 World Cup. Could be mistaken about that, actually. I'm going to double check that. No, I am mistaken. They played each other in the 2022 World Cup as well,
Yeah,
where France beat Morocco 2-0.
yeah.
So that is something else. I mean, this is the thing. This is a big fixture which has gone very far in recent tournaments. So who
It's a big
knows?
fixture because Morocco don't seem to
Morocco aren't any
go
pushovers at
down
this point.
easy.
No, they're not
No, they're not.
pushovers.
But I mean, France,
France are just unbelievable in this. I mean,
France, France are the best squad made of the best players.
100%.
I
It's
mean,
not even close.
it's not close. I mean, I guess their midfield is the weakest part of their team, but I think some of their players get in our midfield. I'm not being funny.
Yeah,
It's it is an embarrassment of riches what they
no,
have.
it is. And I mean, they are by far favourites. I think Opta predicted 30% chance of France winning the World Cup compared to England with 14 and Spain with 13.
Yeah, yeah, I think France. I mean, I think France will be in the final,
Oh, I predict they'll be in the final as well.
considering they don't have to play England or Argentina or Norway
Mm.
uh, in the semis. They'd have to play Spain, Belgium, or
Spain or Belgium, that's it.
Spain or Belgium. Yeah,
hmm
that's it.
But
So
talking about Spain or Belgium, we'll shift to that corner of the bracket because there's a lot to unpack in this side. I think that quite controversial. This corner of the tournament, I want to say. But we'll start with the more simple side of it, which is Portugal Croatia 2-1 Portugal in the round of 32. We both predicted that Portugal would unfortunately beat Croatia. We did discuss that we wouldn't be surprised if Croatia managed to do some kind of numbers on Portugal because it would be Ronaldo's downfall that he was suffering in
mm,
that team. But lo and behold, we were both wrong, and Portugal have gone through.
yep. I mean, I think it definitely was closer than probably expected it to be.
I don't know. I do
Uh,
think it was just one of those games where I'll be honest. I think if you're not a Portugal or Croatia fan, you could see that game going either way, and
Yeah, and
there
it's,
was no
even watching
standout point.
even watching it, the first half was poor, and I thought when Croatia scored, I thought that's it. You
Mm.
know that they'll win now because Portugal just can't. I just see it. You know,
Hmm.
I think they're my biggest disappointments of the tournament. Portugal.
I agree. I don't think
Um,
Portugal. I don't actually think Portugal, to be honest, had the right to even get to the round of 32. Controversially, I don't think a lot of people would agree with me on that. But I do think their performances in the group stage were abysmal.
well, to not win that group is poor
Mm.
for their quality.
Considering they were in a
Um,
group with Congo and Uzbekistan, to get the
well,
results they got.
I mean, Congo, we know are a difficult team.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Congo in a minute because
But they
wow.
got a draw. Colombia again got through to the same stage, so they could. And
Mm.
Uzbekistan, you know, it did make me laugh. All the Ronaldo fanboys after Uzbekistan saying, "Oh, he's back," you know, should
Yeah.
never doubted him,
I mean,
just for him to do nothing.
Cannavaro put together a really solid squad. What can I say?
What can I say? From defensively, well, they weren't, but
No, they were actually abysmal, Uzbekistan.
they were awful actually.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's Uzbekistan. They've done well to get there,
yeah, I think
done
so.
well to score, done well, you know.
But
But
yeah, Portugal going through 2-1. I mean, it was one of those really. But on the flip side of it, we had Spain, Austria, where Spain completely destroyed Austria 3-0. I mean, it wasn't.
I mean, it was comfortable.
It was comfortable. It was calculated. It wasn't even close. Everyone saw it coming. I'll be honest. I think that's probably the least shocking result of the round of 32. To be honest, no
Yeah,
fuss, no
completely
muss.
expected.
Completely expected. And then round of 16, Spain top Portugal 1-0, and Spain go through to the quarter final.
Yeah,
Which,
I think I know we watched Mexico v South Korea,
mm,
and we said this is the worst game possibly ever.
no, Spain
Um,
Portugal might be the
Spain
most boring
Portugal,
game
Spain
ever.
Portugal might be the one of the highest sort of expected. You know, you're excited for Spain v Portugal.
It's a
Neighbours
big fixture,
geographically,
big
good
fixture.
players, good players everywhere you look. But it was absolutely dire.
It
It
was
was
one of.
abysmal.
I actually want to go so far to say I think Mexico South Korea was the most boring game of this tournament, hands down. I think Spain Portugal might have been the most boring game of football I've ever watched in my
Mm.
entire life. It was so boring. I mean, this will tell you how much it was. I watched this game with my dad. We watched the
Mm.
first half, nothing happens. We're like, okay, cool. 60th minute, my dad falls asleep, completely just clocks out. We're in the living room, watch gone. Misses the whole second half, misses the goal. Wakes
Mm.
up, it's like it's over. They scored. When did they score? The game was so boring it put the man to sleep. I mean, you've got to really. I mean, our World Cup. I mean, so if you're watching the Prem and it's the dog days of January and nothing's happening for your team, it's just I get it.
Mm.
But for a World Cup round of 16 to put a man asleep at like 9 p.m. My God, how
Yeah, I know.
unbelievably boring must you be playing? It's just ridiculous. I mean, 1-0 was, I mean, Mikel Merino getting the goal. So obviously, I love a good Arsenal player scoring. But wow, watching paint dry would have been more exciting than that.
Yeah, it's awful. And Portugal does make me laugh because why Roberto Martinez was allowed to be their manager. And do you know what? Watching that game, it just didn't look like they cared.
No, I don't
You
think they
know, they
did.
were all, I actually do not think those Portugal players cared.
No, I don't think so.
And whether that's because they weren't happy with the manager, they weren't happy with Ronaldo playing every game. I
Hmm.
mean, Ronaldo in that game played 90 minutes or the whole game.
It's invisible.
And he didn't do anything. He couldn't. If you actually watch him, he can't run.
Hmm.
And the sad thing about it is, you have Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha, and João Neves all play for teams who were very, very good on the fast break, very, very, very good at getting the ball forward quickly to runners, and they had to play behind Cristiano Ronaldo,
Yeah,
who
who've
wouldn't run,
got no legs.
who wouldn't stretch the defence, wouldn't push them back, wouldn't run in the channel, wouldn't do anything,
Hmm. I do
wouldn't do a
think.
single thing.
I do think that now that this World Cup's finished, Ronaldo can't possibly go to the next one. It would be
No,
ridiculous if he
not the next
does.
World Cup, even though it is in Spain, Portugal, and Morocco.
Yeah, but it would be ridiculous as a
He
46-year-old man.
well, 45, 46, he could be an ambassador. I mean,
I saw.
Cristiano, please.
I did see a whole thing of people saying that Roberto Martinez's contract up, I
Oh, he's
believe.
gone already.
He's
He
already
was
gone.
leaving beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gone. And so there's people saying maybe Ronaldo should just take the reins and like realistically, like having Ronaldo as your manager, that might be a tactical master. Could backfire quite heavily, though. I do think having like the greatest player, one of the
Well,
greatest players of all time.
well, it probably will because Ronaldo probably wouldn't be a very good manager because of his ego.
Mm,
It's probably, well, why can't you do this? Why can't, there's a few,
yeah, because I'm not you, bro. I can't do this because I'm not like the greatest of all time.
but unfortunately, Ronaldo, I think that whole World Cup for Portugal, the fact that the players didn't look like they cared, the fact that Roberto Martinez was set, the fact that Ronaldo started every game, it just felt like a vanity project for Ronaldo. Like it genuinely didn't feel like that group of players was made up of the best Portuguese players out there. It felt like it was made up of actors, right, all behind Cristiano Ronaldo to try and make it look like, he was still. It honestly felt so weird watching Portugal.
No, I agree.
So weird.
I agree. It definitely felt like almost like a Ronaldo passion project rather than like.
It did. It
And
just felt off completely.
I'm convinced that there are bigger behind the scenes issues in the Portugal camp than any media will let us onto.
Well, it felt like to me that the players this time didn't sort of like the fact that Ronaldo was there. And consider, especially Vitinha and João Neves, who Gonzalo Ramos is on the bench. He scored the winner against Croatia, and he didn't even get on against Spain. And he plays with Vitinha, João Neves at PSG. He's moved now to Milan, but
Yeah,
he's trained with them every single day behind and he didn't even come on.
it's ridiculous.
It was just all off. Everything about Portugal was just off.
Completely. But I mean, the good thing is they haven't gone through, so their World Cup has ended here. Ronaldo's chance of getting a World Cup is now dashed.
Ronaldo will never win a World
He
Cup.
will now
and quite
never win a World
frankly,
Cup. And I don't actually, honestly, I don't think it's deserved at this point. I don't think he deserves to win one with the performance he's put in this World Cup. So,
yeah, I think
Ronaldo fans,
I'm
come
quite
for me
happy.
because I've cursed your Messiah because he didn't deserve it. And if you actually watch the games and you actually watch his performances, I don't think anyone can justify Ronaldo winning this World Cup, even slightly.
No, I'm actually very happy that Ronaldo is out because
It's just
his
one of
ego took over. I
completely.
mean, everything about Portugal was just about Ronaldo's ego.
Hmm.
I'm so glad that he went out.
It's done. It's done and dusted. So the final two games in the round of 32 on this side of the tournament, we had two, I would like to say, controversial games. One, well, both for different reasons, I want to say. I think we're going to disagree on one of these here. USA Bosnia, where USA won 2-0. Honestly, we all foresaw USA beating Bosnia. There's no surprises in the result there. However, the controversy comes from the red card for Balogun, which was then suspended at the request of President Donald Trump, which I didn't know we were allowed to do that. We could just talk to the president of FIFA and be like, yeah, like, let my boy go. And then he does. Like, this whole suspended for a year thing is a total load of rubbish, I think. I don't know how they got away with it. I mean, it was so bad that even UEFA started, like, a whole campaign online being like, FIFA, what, this is wrong. You're ruining the game. Like, uphold the rules, blah, blah, blah. Like, why is UEFA taking to Instagram to do a smear campaign on FIFA at a time like this? Like, bro, come on. But I mean, it was just ridiculous. I mean, if you get a red, you should have to do the red. And it's not like this is the first red card of the tournament. Mexico got 2 red cards in their opening fixture and they all had to serve those bans. So why is it that, because it's America, it was just a different set of rules. I do think, to just give devil's advocate to this argument, that the tackle that the foul which Balogun does I actually don't think it is a red. I actually think it's quite a soft challenge. However, the ref has given a red on the field. It's done. Like, that is it. You can appeal it, but realistically, everyone else just accepts it on the chin and moves on. But apparently, no. They appeal. It's a suspended red, so that he can play the next game. And he starts against Belgium, which gives away the result of the other game. But he starts against Belgium, and it's an absolute disgrace, in my opinion, how he's been allowed. If I'm Pochettino, I'm not playing Balogun out of principle. Out of just like it will be safer as an optics. Can you imagine if Belgium win 4-1, shock. But imagine if USA had somehow won that game and Balogun's the one who scores the winner. Absolute chaos ensues because he shouldn't have even been on the pitch. So
yeah, it's all about the optics of it because it's accidental, right? His red card. He gets sent off. They appeal it they'd appeal it anyway. But the fact that, and this is the sort of problem with Trump, is that he will just sort of say things no
He
matter how
admitted
bad
it,
they
right?
sound.
He admitted it.
Is that he basically said, I was watching this game and I didn't think it was a red card for our player. I didn't even know what a red card was.
Yeah.
And he said, but I don't think it was a foul. I don't think of it. So I called my good friend
Infantino.
Gianni
I
Infantino,
just called him
and I
up.
said, you got to look at it. You got to look at this because this player. And the worst thing about this is Donald Trump said, if Argentina lose Messi and France lose Mbappe and England lose Kane, it's not good for the game because we all want to see the best players. We all want to see the best players. And he's basically saying that the only reason he's appealing this red card, which he didn't even know what a red card was because he wants to see. He believes that the game is somehow in disrepute if Balogun doesn't play because he's a good player.
Sorry, hang on. Are you trying to tell me, because I didn't realise this, are you trying to tell me that Trump has put Messi, Kane, Mbappe, and Balogun in the same conversation?
When he's put them in the same context, yeah.
Is that like equal to the Christian Pulisic being the like LeBron James of
Oh,
soccer?
nothing beats that.
That is an unbelievable take
Nothing beats that.
from.
But it's
I mean, clearly Trump doesn't know ball because otherwise you'd never put them in the same sentence. But the audacity to be like, "Oh, Messi is to Argentina as Balogun is to the United States." Fuck right off.
but he's basically just saying that the fans want to see the best players, and the game's ruined if the best players. But if the best player gets a red card, then I'm sorry, Donald, you're gonna have. But
You play without him.
even though because FIFA came out and said, well, it's an independent commission, it's not any way influenced by these comments from the president. Nothing. But that's complete bullshit because
Because he's still got to
why on
play
earth? Why on earth would UEFA criticise it so much? You would have some knowledge of
of how it works.
the internal proceedings of how these things work. And why on earth would the President of the United States admit to calling the FIFA president? And this is just how arrogant
In a public
Trump is.
press conference, not like he said it like off the cuff either.
I
It's a
know,
public press conference
but it's
in
how
front of the White
arrogant he
House.
is, and how arrogant some Americans are to think that it's absolutely there's nothing wrong with the optics of what's happened here, because people are just gonna, even if it is an independent commission, even if they say, listen, we don't think it's a red, the president has admitted he has interfered
With the tournament.
with the tournament. He said, I called the highest person I can contact within FIFA to say, and this Infantino loves Trump.
Oh, 100. He
He's
made a
given him
whole. He
awards.
gave him the whole FIFA Peace
He gave
Prize,
him a
which he
whole
made
award.
up just for
He
Trump.
he's done multiple interviews and press conferences with him. He's talked about him glowingly. How he makes it, how he's made this World Cup happen. Of course, he's going to listen. Do you? I would love to hear that conversation.
Oh,
Like
100%.
Gianni, we I mean, someone told me Balogun got a red card. I want it removed. I want him black. Like, it's absolutely mental. This guy, absolutely mental. I mean, it's a thing that this man's like, not to get all political here, but this man communicates with countries who are, possessing weapons. He can destroy other countries pretty easily.
But it is just the most Trump thing ever. Gianni, nobody knows more about fouls than me. I'm the greatest at knowing about fouls.
Red cards,
It's not a.
red. I heard he got a red card. Red is a beautiful color, by the way. I mean,
It's
but
one of the
we
most
gotta
wonderful colours. It's the best
No,
colours.
it's one of the colors. It's my favorite color.
I know more about
It's
colours than anyone
Melania's favorite
else.
color.
I'm the greatest at
Absolutely.
telling colours, but I know it's not a red card. So you gotta have a look at this. Like it's
And the
just
bloke's probably fucking colorblind. He's absolutely
it's just
fucking.
ridiculous.
He's absolutely mental to not know what a red card was, but to still call the people.
Yeah.
Like, who does that? Who calls someone not knowing the actual context of something and says, "Yeah, but I need this changed. We need it changed."
Scam callers probably.
Scam callers, Donald Trump, the Nigerian fucking
Nig-
call center.
A Nigerian
Employee
prince,
of the month.
a Nigerian prince, a Microsoft scam artist, and Trump walk into a bar. So they start a really bad joke.
It really is.
But okay, so America get through to the round of 16 and then get beat by Belgium, which gives away the result of the last top game in that side of the tournament,
And
which
all the
is
Belgians did a little Trump dance as well.
yeah, put
You've
Belgium
seen that.
Senegal right. I was annoyed because I think Senegal were robbed here. However, I do think it was entirely Senegal's fault for giving away a 2-goal lead in the last 10 minutes.
Well, I've never seen them all, but the game's done.
The game is finished. I literally, and what I'm
Game's-
gonna let you in on a little secret here to you and the viewers. I
Yeah,
had a bet going, right? Well,
yeah.
I had two separate ACCAs going. One of them they were all both identical. One of them had more games in, and the only difference really was that one had Senegal winning and one had Belgium winning. So when Senegal are losing, are winning, and the game's done, I'm like, okay, it's finished. I'm like, I'm gonna save some of my money back. I mean, I'm not gonna lose all of this. I'm gonna cash out before the game's finished and get like 20p back. You know, why not? Like, you know, save the pennies. So then I've got this one ACCA going left. I'm like, okay, cool. Senegal are about to get this. I'm about to win, like, I'm not talking a lot. I'm like 20 quid, 40 quid, whatever, nothing, right? And then Senegal lose. And I'm like, okay. So I've gone from like potentially having like a massive winning bet to then having nothing, all as a result of Senegal just not knowing how to keep their defence in some form of formation.
I mean, Belgium were poor for the whole game, and they were that poor. They took off De Bruyne, they took off Doku, and pretty much looks like, you know, they were just hoofing out to Lukaku, and you know that was their whole game plan. You know, this is round 32 at World Cup, and they were just hoofing it to Lukaku, who has played 4 minutes all season or something, and then they get one back, and then they get two within 3 minutes.
Yeah, I would like to look at the stats.
I still actually don't know how. I mean, the moment it went in, it wasn't even like, oh wow, it was how.
It's how they managed this.
How? And the worst thing is, Senegal would have gone on to beating the United States. I mean, Senegal should be in the quarterfinal right
100%. You like, I genuinely think whichever team wins between Senegal and Belgium gets to the quarterfinal.
But because of 5 minutes of, I don't know if it's a lack of concentration or what, but
yeah, I don't know. But
they're out. I mean, it's bizarre.
Well, let's looking at the stats real quick. So I mean, in terms of possession, 48% Belgium, 42% Senegal with 10% contested. Already looking on paper like an extremely tight, close game, right?
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, at some stages it was extremely close. But then you look at the attempts at goal. Both teams have 19 shots each, right? Senegal have 5 on target. Belgium have 5 on target. And I mean, this is just another one. Again, I've said it before, say it again. They're having so many chances and they're not clinical with it. And if you can't lock down a game, you lose. This is what happens. You have to take the chances when you get them. And evidently, Belgium just had a strategy of, well, if we can't score every time, we're going to shoot as many times as possible until one of them eventually goes in. And they did, and they got 3. So it really is just it's just proof that you need to really keep it going, to be honest. But I mean, I do think that Senegal were slightly robbed towards the end, because I did think by the end of it, I was like, right, this is going to penalties. Like, call the game now. And I do actually think when the foul occurs that gives Belgium the final set piece, I think referee just called it there and just gone to penalties. And I actually don't think anyone would have had any issue going to penalties at that point. But Belgium then get their set piece and it goes, leads to a goal. And you're thinking, right, this is bullshit. Because at that point, the momentum is also 100% with Belgium. So I think it's just I don't know, maybe I'm just critical of the referee in this game, but I do think that realistically it should have gone to penalties. Even if Belgium then win it on penalties, I wouldn't have a problem, because they played amazing. They really earned their spot. However, I do think that Senegal have been a little bit unlucky in this instance. And I think they felt that as well. They felt hard done by it. And you could see the tension rising at the end of the game, where they know that they've messed up. They know that they've lost their head's gone. They're completely like bottling it. Senegal essentially bottled that game, for want of a better word.
Oh, absolutely.
Complete bottle.
I mean, like I said, zero reason for them to lose it. But I mean, Belgium just
with the better
stuck
side
in the game, and then in extra time got the penalty, scored it. I mean, Senegal were sort of up to the old tricks again, not walking off the pitch, but
we'll have a good
a man, crouched over the penalty spot, a few players scuffing it. It took about 5 minutes to remove them all. The latest ever goal, I think, in the World Cup, I think they said.
Yeah, that is that one.
But it was 134th minute or something.
It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
But it's just so stupid. And the stupid thing is, Senegal, the game kept going on. The game wouldn't end, and then Senegal have a free kick in the last minute, and then he skies it.
And you know what? I think the ref has done that on purpose because I think the ref realised that the way it was looking like it was very you had a lot of decisions go against Senegal right at the end of the game. And so I think the ref has played on. I actually genuinely believe this. I have no proof of this, but I do believe the ref has actually probably played on maybe 1 or 2 minutes beyond when he should have done, which is probably he's probably within his right to do.
Well, it's a minimum. I mean, to be honest,
Yeah.
the penalty was awarded in the 128th minute. Obviously, I think there was like 4 minutes added on.
Yeah.
But by the time the penalty was taken, the 4 minutes were done. So it needed the extra time. But yeah, nothing summed up Senegal more than that last free kick they had in the last minute.
Well, it just goes right over the bar.
Just wasted it completely. Absolutely wasted it.
But I mean, regardless of that, Belgium go through 3-2, and we go to the round of 16 game, Belgium against the USA, where football has been restored and it is no longer called soccer, and Belgium absolutely thump USA 4-1 by the beautiful assistance from the USA goalkeeper Matt Freese, who doesn't know what he's doing, has never kicked a ball in his life. I mean, my God, man! Like, I know that it's the world's biggest stage, but that is one heck of a performance. I mean, the fourth goal, he's not even in the net. Like, I don't know where he's going.
No, it's the man who he probably didn't grow up playing American football and didn't realise he couldn't touch it handle it outside the box.
But have you
seen when he got outside the box, he panicked completely.
But no, the 2 goals I want to talk about the most is the third and fourth goal. The third goal, which is the header, right, where he's just looking at the ball. He's not even he doesn't dive, he doesn't move. He just watches the ball sail across his box and gets headed into the corner, and he's just stood there like, hello, like, I'm going to just watch this go by. Like, what are you doing, man? Dive for the ball. At least make it look like you had it, like you went for it and missed. But, like, it was just rubbish. And then at the end, he runs out of his box so far. I mean, like, I think at that point they'd all given up, to be honest. Like, it was so late in the game, I think USA had just given up. But it's just ridiculous. I mean, he cost them the entire game. I mean, I hate the idea of putting an entire team's performance on one player, because realistically it's a team game and no one man wins the games for everyone, right? But regardless, that is an abysmal performance from the goalkeeper, and I know that he's probably feeling really awful about it. So hopefully he takes this as a learning opportunity and pushes on, because everyone has bad games, but that is on the world's biggest stage when your country needed it the most. It's not ideal. And to be honest, I think had he played like a good game and had America, been a bit more clinical, America probably could have. This is one of the round of 16 fixtures I actually think America probably could have won, because I actually didn't think Belgium had been that impressive so far in this tournament. I actually still don't think they have been, to be honest, because I actually think even against America, Belgium played quite poorly. However, because of how abysmal the United States played, it made them look amazing, which I don't actually think they have been.
Well, the funny thing is, general consensus of the American soccer fan base is that Belgium are the best team ever, and they can't believe what they've seen. A team who can, control the ball and pass it and shoot and defend and press. They can't believe that Belgium are that good, which is funny because Belgium are not good.
Oh, not that good.
And they're certainly not as good as they were 8 years ago. Yeah, I mean, like I said, America impressed me, and they certainly, have probably learned a lot. I did think they needed to win that game to have any long-lasting effects on how football is perceived in the country.
But I do think they'll get better. I do think
they'll learn. They won't magically have a superstar in the next 4 years, but it's an experience.
I also think
they should get out of the group every World Cup
tournament. But I also think having Pulisic be injured and not be 100% to play every minute of every game, I think is a bigger blow for the United States than people realise. But I also think that realistically, well, actually no, this is a whole separate conversation. But what I want to talk about is the social media reaction to the United States' game. Pre-Belgium, pre the round of 16 fixture, all of the TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, anything to do with the United States men's national team, as they like to refer to it, like they don't just call it the team, it's just whatever. Every piece of content was about how amazing they are, how they're gonna go for the win, how Balogun, Pulisic, Gio Reyna, they're all the greatest players in the world, yada yada yada. And post this match, every piece of content I have seen it's about how bad Matt Freeze is. And it's like
Yeah, no.
slating the poor man that he's like lost it for them. And I'm like, that whole nation has turned against that goalie. And it is real, like, that must be quite, like, we saw it in England when, like, we lost the Euro finals, how many of our own countrymen turned against players on the England squad as a result of losing on penalties. And it hurts to be scorned by your own people. So I can't imagine what Matt Freeze is feeling right now. He must be bit, utter bit. But, I mean, nevertheless, 4-1 Belgium, and Belgium go through, so they're playing Spain in the quarterfinal. So our two fixtures on the left-hand side of the tournament are France-Morocco, almost said Marrakesh, France-Morocco, and Spain-Belgium. I mean, that is one hell of a half of a final eight for certain.
I think the most popular sort of, semi-final or the final four is still on. It's
I think so.
France, Spain, Argentina, England is still on.
It's
I
still
think that's
very
what
much
most
on.
people predicted. And
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be great if that does happen. But
I mean, obviously, because
I think
given
there,
the
I think there will be surprises.
I think so too, and I actually think there'll be some good ones. But we'll go to the right hand side of the tournament before we get into our predictions for the final, for the quarterfinal, not the final. We can have the final as well, but the quarterfinal. I don't know why I've said final and I've missed the word quarter entirely. But Brazil Japan. So we were on different sides of this one in the round of
Yeah.
32. I said Japan, you said Brazil. 2-1 Brazil. I mean, I'll be honest, I have nothing to comment on this game. It was close. Japan, I think, played very well. I think Brazil just got the upper hand of it. And I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't think Brazil played exceptionally well, but I think they managed. It's one of those. They clinched it, they got it over the line, and then it was shown in the very next game in the round of 16 just how poorly they have been, frankly. So, spoiler for the round of 16 tie in second. But, I mean, anything to comment on Brazil Japan? Because I don't have anything, frankly.
I mean, it's very typical of Japan to play very well and throw it away late. I mean, it's happened quite a few times.
I mean, even just looking at the
That's
stats of this game, right? Because it's one of those. I mean, Brazil had 61% of possession compared to Japan's 30. So I mean, it is one-way traffic on the ball realistically the entire game. Brazil had 19 shots at goal, 7 on target. Japan had 5 shots at the goal entirely, 2 shots on target. I mean,
Yeah, most of them probably came in the first half
in
as well.
the first 10 minutes, I want to say, to be honest.
And then, yeah, no,
And then
second half Brazil were much better.
it was one-way traffic for Brazil and from
And
50
they
minutes
did,
onwards.
and they sort of, they stumbled through it, but
Yeah, I'll be honest. I do
they,
think they earned the win fair and square. There's no doubt in my mind about that game.
no, and like I said, it's very typical of Japan to concede late.
Yeah,
They've done it so many times in the World Cup, which is
mm,
a shame because I was sort of rooting for them, even though
yeah.
I predicted Brazil. I was sort of like, come on, don't throw it away late this time,
I
and they
think
did.
Japan are one of those teams that they're quite fun to watch.
They're
They
fun
play
to
exciting
They're
football.
they're brought up to play a certain style in Japan, and they do it well. I mean, it
Mm,
translates very well to very competitive football. I
they
think
work
I
hard.
don't know what they're missing, but they're certainly missing. Maybe more Japanese players need to play at a higher level, especially going forward.
I think they
You
need to
know,
do. I think they
but
need. I think Japan needs to do what America has done, and I think this is one thing I'm quite not passionate about, but I think is not talked about enough. America's starting 11 has been very good this tournament, but it's no surprise that most of their starting 11 players play in Europe. They don't play in the
mm,
MLS. Like in terms of this US men's team compared to previous World Cups, most of their players played in the MLS. You had only like one or two dotted about in the Bundesliga and the Prem and stuff like that. This tournament, their entire starting 11, I want to say, if not most of their starting 11, play across top European league, and it's one and
mm,
no, and it just to me it makes all that difference because that is where the most intense competition is on the world stage.
even when you look at obscure nations, a lot of their players have played in England, have played in
Mm.
Europe at the top level, a top league, maybe not a top team, but
Yeah, but a
it
top
does help.
division.
I think it probably really
It does
does help.
something. It definitely does something. And I think if Japan
Yeah.
wants to, I think Japan's next stage to progress further is to take what they've got because they've got something there. There is a real core in that team that I
Mm.
believe I don't want to say win the World Cup because I think that's a very steep promise to make, but
Yeah, Japan aren't China or India where you say, oh, they've got to do it eventually. They're not a huge country.
No, but I do believe that we
And
could
I
see.
think they do overachieve in a way.
Yeah, but I do believe that we will at some point in our lifetimes, for certain, see a Japan team
Sometime
at least reach a semi-final,
we'll see an Asian team win the
win the World Cup.
World Cup. Yeah,
I think
hopefully it will be Japan
it would be Japan out of everyone, realistically.
at the moment. Yeah,
Mm.
because
There's
they brought
something
up
there.
well.
There is something in that
They're
game.
very very good players. Japanese
Hmm.
players when they're younger. But I do think they do lack some physicality at times, and
Yeah, they're all quite small and short as
a
well.
lot of them, a lot of them play in, if in Europe, it'll be in the Dutch league or the Scottish league, or there's
Hmm.
not many. There's not, yeah, it needs to play in, needs to move to
Need to raise the
England,
stand. They
and
need to raise the bar, I think, a little bit. But
yeah,
it's a work in progress for sure. But Brazil go through 2-1. The other round of 32 fixture linking into this is Norway against the Ivory Coast. Norway winning 2-1. I'll be honest, I mean, Norway are on a flyer, an absolute flyer. I mean, they're fun to watch. They're playing amazing. Their row celebration has taken the world by storm. People are rowing everywhere these days. I mean, it's ridiculous.
mm,
You see Haaland celebrate his goal with the Viking helmet
mm,
at the end of the
I
game.
did see.
That guy is just, you know what, right? For all the Man City Arsenal hatred, I don't like him when he's playing for City for obvious reasons. But my God, I do love him in this World Cup. He is just, it's something about him. He just
Well,
seems like a normal bloke.
he is. Well, that's the thing. He is a normal
He's just,
bloke. No, to be honest, I think that there's something incredibly different. If Haaland and Mbappe had a new Messi, Ronaldo, their personalities could not be
more
further.
different. Yeah, Haaland's so
Because
chilled out.
I think they're both pretty humble. They're both chilled out. They're both very socially sort of aware of who they are, but they sort of just get on with their lives. I mean,
Mm. Although, have you
but
seen the
they,
difference in social media taste? We've got half of social media has got Haaland portrayed as this like big friendly Viking who's just like
mm,
doing the most, and the other half has got Mbappe portrayed as this like French dictator, and he's like,
oh, I love
I love
Mbappe.
they're so
Do you know
good.
what? Do you know what? Do you know what I love more? I love the videos. It's like Mbappe speaking in English, and it's like this cuddly, lovable, guy, and then
Yeah,
it's speaking in French, and he's like this really fucking
animated villain.
intense sort of.
Mm.
Yeah. Have you seen the clip? Do you know what always makes me laugh? The Mbappe clip where he says, "Oh, what's the you like cooking?" It's like, yeah. It's like, what's your favourite dish to make? It's like, yeah, for example, nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not, for example, nothing.
Forget nothing,
What's the Mbappe special? For
nothing.
example, yeah, nothing.
Nothing. But this is the thing is, although on a serious note though, there was a big thing with Mbappe actually after the Paraguay game. I don't know if you saw it. It was plastered everywhere about the Paraguayan. I don't know if it's a senator or if it was like a
Oh yeah, it's a
member of
parliament,
their
wasn't it?
parliament. Basically, was just saying severely racist comments towards Mbappe. I want to say just being salty after he knocked them out. And Mbappe was just like, you don't deserve you're not worthy of your position. Blah
Mm.
blah blah. It became a whole thing. She was like, oh. I'm going to sue you for a gendered-based attack or something like that. However, adding to the Mbappe dictator law, the United Nations backs Mbappe. Don't know if you saw that or not, but I don't
No,
know
I
how
didn't
he's
see
managed to
that.
do that. Don't know how he's managed to do that, but the United Nations stands with Mbappe and saying that this Paraguayan official's comments are extremely racist and
No, they're out of
unjust.
order. I mean,
They're out of order completely. We're not going to repeat them
I
because
don't,
they're just ridiculous. But like,
I don't.
it is shocking behavior. No, but it is actually shocking behavior that a government
Well, yeah,
official is saying that. Like, come on.
yeah, but you wouldn't get that in a European country.
But it's just ridiculous.
Not in the sort of Western, the Western
Yeah,
world.
it's just
You wouldn't.
ridiculous.
But for them, I think it's a little bit different. Yeah, I mean,
I want to say it's a little bit different, but that doesn't mean it's okay. Do you know what I mean? That's just to be in a position of a genuine geopolitical standing. Like you're not just like a random person on the street. You're a government
yeah,
official.
but I don't think she'll lose her job. I don't think
I don't think she
she
will.
might be suspended.
I don't think anything
That's
will
what I'm
happen
saying.
to her, and I think
That's what I'm saying. It's
it's
different. I think
disgraceful.
it's just probably the culture of the where they this isn't seen as a massive
Yeah,
because
I
they're
don't
all
know.
probably.
I just
But
think it's
I
disgrace.
did see a clip where she called him a son of a bitch in Parliament, which
Yeah,
I think is quite funny because she's still going on,
she's still going on about it. She's still
still
going on.
going on about it. It's
No,
like
it's
they've
It's a disgrace, complete disgrace. But, I mean, it's just a joke how that can still be around in the world today. All because she got knocked out. I mean, come on, just don't be salty
All
about it. You're
because, yeah, but
lost.
but
You're
it's
lost.
what obvious. It's what a lot of these teams do. It's they play this awful dark arts football, but
Mm,
then after the game, still maintain the sort of victim mentality of, oh, the ref was against us. Everything was against us. It's
mm.
quite funny to see, to be honest, because
It's
nobody
just
else sees it that way.
No, it's just ridiculous. However, going slightly back to the conversation that we were having at hand, Norway obviously beat Ivory Coast 2-1 in the round of 32 and go and play Brazil in the round of 16, which I've got to say actually is one of my favourite games of this tournament so far. I wanted Norway to win purely for my boy Odegaard, my skipper, and I mean they delivered. It was a close game, it was exciting, action at both ends, 2 goals for Norway. I'm like, wow, it's done. It's over. It's finished. Brazil get a penalty. Neymar gets his final goal, his final hurrah of
Mm,
international. He's now retired from international duty, so the Prince of Brazil will never be crowned king.
never be king.
Will never be
Yeah.
king, the Prince of Brazil, which is a shame. But I mean, he was old. His knees would go in. I
Oh, it's a
mean,
shame, but he shouldn't have even been brought to this tournament.
oh yeah, Ancelotti was definitely forced by a crowd of Brazilians to bring
Oh,
Neymar.
in the same way Ronaldo
Yeah, there
plays every
was.
game, it's the same sort of
It's the
pressure on
same
the manager.
pressure. No, and there's nothing you can do about it. You have to.
Because he's damned if he does or if he doesn't. Because if he doesn't take him and they go out at this stage, it's, well, you should have taken him.
Mm.
But if you do take him
Then you go out of this
and
stage, and here's a
and you go out at
result.
this stage and it's a bit like, oh well,
You
you
took
couldn't
him.
get Neymar this trophy. It's
Yeah.
impossible.
But I do think Ancelotti played a great tactical game in the sense of he didn't, unlike with Portugal and Ronaldo, Neymar was not the starter. He was not a main. He
No,
was. He
but
wasn't a main. He wasn't a main character for Brazil.
no.
And like he came on and obviously played a couple minutes here and there, and like he contributed. But I actually think Ancelotti, it's great man management from Ancelotti to know that this is a star that your people
I
want to
don't even think
see.
it's, I think it's country management
Yeah, no,
actually.
he knows the people. He knows the people of Brazil want to see Neymar, and he's used Neymar in a way that complements Brazil rather than bottlenecks them by playing Neymar for every minute of every game.
Yeah, but I was thinking because Neymar has had a lot of injuries and he's clearly not the player he was. He accepted this role
Yeah,
because
he
he got
knows.
injured for the tournament and he missed the first game anyway,
Mm,
which made it easy for Ancelotti to not really play him. Ronaldo wouldn't have accepted starting on the bench. I mean, there was a brief moment in the when he was taken off against Croatia where you could see it in his sort of, he was started thinking like, oh, do I just refuse to come off? Like there's a
yeah.
brief moment and he was like, oh no, I'll go.
Yeah, he knew.
But
He knew because it was also the 60th minute. He knew that was not good luck. He knew it wasn't good luck to not come off.
well, there's a problem. He knew that if they won it, he wouldn't be getting all applauded.
But I mean,
Yeah.
regardless,
Anyway,
Norway beat Brazil 2-1, and Norway is into the quarterfinal of the World Cup for.
I'm,
I want to
I'm,
say they're for the first time ever, right? This is the furthest they've ever gone.
I would assume this is the furthest they've got. Yeah.
On their first return back to the tournament, by the way, I mean I've said this for a little while now. The Odegaard Haaland link up
Mm.
play is ridiculous. On top of the fact that Odegaard, we've seen. Right, this could be a whole podcast in itself. I'm not gonna bore anyone with this, but I mean Odegaard has been playing an unbelievable World Cup, and it goes. This is why he is the man of standing that he is, and this is a message to any Arsenal fan: if you want to sell Odegaard, fuck off. He's staying in the team, right? But and I would die on that hill, but. No, I mean, it is an unbelievable run from Norway, and actually, I am very excited to see see what they do in the next match. I mean, it is against England, and I will be. It's
And
unfortunate. I will be unfortunately rooting for England, but it is
well,
what it is.
the funny thing is as well, I would actually draw. I would rather play Brazil.
I would rather play Brazil,
I'd
100%,
rather play Brazil because I think Norway are one of those teams,
where they will get.
unlike Germany, where they do have the right players in every position to complement the
Hmm.
stars they do have.
But you know what? I do think if Norway beat us, I reckon Norway get to the final.
I reckon Norway gets far.
I,
I reckon Norway can beat Argentina.
I reckon they can. But anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. So we've got in the two round of 32 games that lead into the Norway quarterfinal. Mexico against Ecuador. You said that Ecuador would win. I told you were foolish that Mexico would win. Lo
Hmm.
and behold, Mexico did win 2-0. It was in Mexico. I mean, it was gonna be it was a good game, but I mean, at the end of the day, Mexico won it. So haha. I win. And then the game that, I'll be honest, I don't think we deserve to win. England-Congo. England against good old Dr. Congo. There is no, you know what? I got to put my hands up. I actually think Congo should have beaten us. England won 2-1 against Congo.
I think they definitely should have been 2-0 up.
Yeah.
I think Wissa hit the post. He should have scored, but I also think that their goalkeeper's performance in the first half warrants a mention.
Yeah.
Because he made some good saves. But I think in across the whole game, and I had absolutely zero doubt that we were going to win it. Even 1-0 down in 60th minute, I thought, well, we're going to get back into it. And then when Kane scored, I thought, there's absolutely no way we don't win.
Yeah, I mean, the minute we scored one, it was coming in.
Because they were sitting deep, but they weren't sitting too deep, and they weren't attacking us. You know, they got out a few times, but they weren't attacking us. And ultimately, Harry Kane is better than what they have up front. And,
I mean, for a good portion of that night, it was really much looking like it's not coming home, and we're going home. But
well, I mean,
every
single outlook on this England team, this manager would have changed drastically if we had lost that.
Oh, 100%. 100%. No, but yeah, obviously England beating Congo 2-1, going through to the round of 16 where we play Mexico at the Azteca. Now, can I just say, this might be the funniest fucking build-up to a match I have ever seen in my life, because... And we're going to mention a couple things here. One, the altitude thing was brought up like it was like we were playing on the fucking moon.
That altitude fella, honestly.
My God, man.
Must be some player, because they just kept mentioning it.
Kept mentioning it. I mean, I'll be honest, the commentary, the podcast, the national media. I mean, I saw a thing that was like, places where the Azteca, like, live viewing of the Azteca, it's like the International Space Station. And it's just ridiculous, man. Every time
it did make me laugh.
Like, every time it would come up in conversation, it's like, England are playing this, but remember, we're playing at altitude at the Azteca, blah, blah, blah. And it's just ridiculous.
But my favourite thing about this is every single, person who talked about it sort of missed the whole fact that a lot of these Mexican players play in Europe. They don't play their games in Mexico. They've only been there they've had a couple weeks. It's not like they grew up in the shadow of the Azteca. Yeah. They weren't, the Mexicans aren't known to be mountain goats, living off mountains. They're not the Gurkhas who live on the hills of Everest. It's a high altitude. It's
and what was
1,000 feet higher than England's highest peak. But they don't. Jimenez plays in fucking London.
Plays in Fulham.
He's not adjusted. I mean, Mexico's games that have been played in Mexico, they've looked very slow. The first game against South Africa, there was no intensity.
It's that altitude, fella. I'm telling you.
And it's the altitude, and it affected Mexico.
Yeah,
that's the true thing. It's affected every game at that stadium. It's affected.
I mean, this
Mexico
is the thing. So not only did we have the whole build up about, oh my God, how are we going to deal with the altitude? It's going to be a problem playing at this altitude, blah blah blah. Then we had the whole news coverage about how the England players are going to be given Viagra to assist with the thing. And we had a whole subsection of about 2 days because you know how Colombia had a goal ruled out from someone's toe?
Yeah.
The internet obviously took this Viagra media broadcast to heart and went, well, how are we gonna react when Kane scores a goal but his knob's offside? It's just like, genuinely, you can't give the British public anything because they just run with it. And it was just ridiculous.
It did make me laugh. Jordan Henderson's press conference, they said, well, how are you dealing with the altitude? And he was like, oh, well, the Viagra helps.
Yeah. Speaking of Jordan Henderson, post-game, getting injured, jumping over an advertising board.
Mate, getting booked, right, getting booked and getting stretchered off in a game you played no part in is, dream stuff, surely.
It is. Do you know what? Right, I've seen the fall. He falls on his wrist. It looks like it hurts. Right, like it doesn't look like a nice. It doesn't look comfortable whatsoever, and we can't replace him as a result of being far in the tournament. However, for it to be injured in a game that you played no minutes in and also receive a booking in, that is an unreal performance from Jordan Henderson.
I just like the thought of the last thing he hears was Wonderwall, and the next minute he wakes up and he's in a Mexican hospital.
Thinking, what on earth happened?
How on earth did I get here?
Yeah, it was just amazing. But I mean, honestly, the Mexico England might be I like, not to toot our own horns here as England fans, it's probably the greatest game of the World Cup so far.
Well, I think it's one of the greatest games, sort of. Considering it's at 2 in the morning, getting
Yeah.
delayed,
hmm
probably one of the greatest England viewing experiences I think the country's had.
100%, and I think it's
Because,
also the win record at the Azteca, to mention that as well. 88
yeah,
88 competitive games have been played at the Azteca, of which Mexico have only lost two. Now 89 games have been played at the Azteca, and Mexico have lost three.
yeah,
So
but I'm not being funny. That record, when you hear it, is wow, that's impressive. Mexico, they've probably
yeah,
beaten South America's top sides. They've
yeah,
probably beaten some European sides that have gone. They've played no one.
they played
They've
absolutely
played
no one. They
absolutely
played
no
like
one. When I
Honduras
first,
like four
when,
times.
yeah, when I first heard it, I thought, oh shit. I thought, oh, it's gonna be troublesome. And I looked through every team that they've beaten. I think the best team was Belgium.
Yeah, we
And
played
I
them
don't know
once.
what year that was in, but if it was pre fucking 2010,
It
they
was
were
pre
awful.
Kevin De Bruyne, doesn't count.
Yeah,
But yeah,
anything before Kevin just doesn't count when you talk
anything
about.
pre Kevin, the era
Everything
of
before Kevin
Kevin
just does not count
doesn't
as
exist.
Belgium.
No international football existed in Belgium pre Kevin. Um, but all right, so Mexico bow out to England spectacularly in a 3-2.
Yeah,
One of the most amazing matches
some
ever.
game.
What a
Yeah,
game.
it was some
Which
game.
leads
I
to our
mean,
third quarter-final fixture set of Norway versus England, which
mm,
is terrifying. However, I've also, being an Arsenal fan, I'm going to bring this up. Odegaard has systematically sent all of his teammates home to get ready for pre-season, because I've seen this with Brazil.
mm,
He sent Martinelli and Gabriel back home. Kai Havertz has gone home with Germany. The only other team that he can send home players from is France, realistically, and England. And I've seen so many memes of like, I'm sorry, my captain, but you must go home. And it's like Rice and Saka pointing guns at Odegaard. Like a full standoff, and it's just like every game it gets so much better because it's like Odegaard just like sends everyone home. It's like get ready for pre-season. I just think it's really funny. But Norway England is it's on Saturday. It's going to be an absolute it's a game and a half really.
yeah, I think
That's
I
the
think
most closely contested quarterfinal fixture.
I think it is the most closely contested, and it will be
It will
closely
be what
contested
a game, man.
because Norway have. I mean, the momentum from their qualification games
Mm.
to all the way through to now is unbelievable. I mean, the only game that they lost was to France, where they
Well, they didn't play
rested
any
all
of
their
their play.
players.
Yeah, and speaking of that, actually, because we spoke about this before, that if Norway bow out in the next round, which was the round of
It's an
32,
awful
it
decision.
was an awful
Yeah,
decision. And now look at them in the
but if
quarterfinal.
not,
It's a masterclass.
if they get to the final, it's only going to be 7 games.
Yeah, and
And while France have played their main squad every game, they're going to have to play 8. I mean, could be a masterstroke,
could be an
actually.
absolute stroke of
But
genius,
they,
I
they
think.
do look
They look
they look
dangerous.
strong. They
They
look
look
strong
dangerous.
defensively, and their attack is probably what I mean. Noosa on the left, Haaland, Odegaard.
And Bob.
It's unbelievable.
But look, let's be
Yeah,
honest. The only player we
Bob
have
doesn't
to
even start for them.
I know
It's
Bob's great. I
unbelievable.
love, but look, it's even there. When you got Haaland up front, I mean, it's just. Have you seen in the build up towards their first goal against Brazil? Haaland is walking. He's not
Mm.
even running. He's just sauntering along in outside the box, and then the
Just see
cross comes in and he just runs in.
the
Boom.
the BBC's 3D like player thing,
Yeah.
where you can see like the point of view of players. You don't even see Haaland until like the very last 8 from Gabriel's point of view.
Yeah. So
Like he just appears
he
out of
just
nowhere.
pops up with like some like Viking
That's
magic.
what he does. He just doesn't touch the ball, and then next minute
Hmm.
he scores. It's quite unbelievable. I did see that Dan Burn, which we need to mention Dan Burn's
Oh,
performance
we
from
do
the
need
England
to know.
game.
No, yes, let's go back. Dan Burn. I love Dan Burn. I have been speaking about Dan Burn this whole tournament, and against Mexico in the last 20 minutes, the most English thing ever occurred where we stick the biggest possible guy in defense and he heads away everything for
Everything.
20 minutes. 20 straight minutes of Dan Burn being a defensive tower, heading away every ball that comes his way. I'm not being funny, right? I genuinely think it's the most English thing ever. The biggest bloke at the back and just head it away.
No,
What a
absolutely is.
baller. Absolute just greatest defender of our generation, and I don't care. Like I will sit on that hill.
No, it really is. But
I'd
Dan
start
Burn's
him
got a very good.
I'd
He's
start
got
him
a very good
instantly, right?
record against. He's got a very good record against Haaland. You
Mm.
know that apparently he's played 8 times. He's only scored once
Yeah, but
against
let's
the
be
Dan
honest.
Burn.
We all know what England's back four is going to be against Norway. It's going to be O'Reilly, Gahey, Konsa, and then because we're going to go and talk to our buddy Infantino like Trump did. We're going to have Kwanzaa on the right back instead.
Oh, King Charles is going to get on the
King Charles is
on the
going to get
blower.
on the blower and go call up Infantino and be like, hello, my good man. Please, can you,
Hello, good sir.
good sir,
About this red
about
card
this red
for
card for Kwanzaa?
Jarrell Quansah.
Jarrell Kwanzaa, can you
Jarrell
please
Quansah, could you please think
assist?
about, letting him play, please? Could it be a great, awful shame for the dear boy if he was to
100%.
miss out?
100%. Shout out Big Charlie for getting Kwanzaa's red card suspended when it happens. My king
Like I
doing
said,
what he does.
like I said, they've shown it can happen.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can and it could. So we'll never know, but we'll see how it goes. But going into the last quarter of this tournament bracket, just a minute ago I said that England-Mexico was one of the greatest games of the World Cup. We need to mention the greatest underdog story in the history of the world, because that's what it is.
Mm,
Argentina, the current world champions, playing against Cape Verde, where I'm gonna be honest, the most exciting match I've ever watched in my life, right?
yeah.
Because Argentina score, and I'm like, here we go. And, it's going to be like 7-0. Messi will score 10. It's just like a joke. I know those numbers don't add up. Don't quote me on that. But it's just one of those things. I was like, the minute they scored, I was like, it's done. And then they get one
Mm,
back, and I'm like, oh my god, it's 1-1. Here we go. I can't believe it. It's happening because as you remember in the last episode, I was so convinced that Cape Verde would beat Argentina. So I was like, oh my god, I got it right for
mm.
once. And I had a £5 bet on Cape Verde to win, which would have got me like 2 grand. And I was like, you know what? My god, I might be in a real like masterclass of genius here. Then Argentina score a second goal, and I'm like, you ruined it. Blah blah blah. Then this has to be goal of the tournament, and for anyone listening who hasn't seen this goal, go and watch it because the Cape Verdean left back, whose name I don't even know. Right, what is his name? I'm just gonna hang on. Hold your horses, please, because Sydney Lopez Cabral. All right,
Sydney Lovers Cabral, yes.
the left back for Cape Verde, right, cuts inside, beats Messi, right? He gets past
Mm,
Messi. So this needs to be addressed first. So he gets past the goat, right? Cuts into the box and then has absolutely no right to take a shot and curls it into the top corner from the corner of the box. And the entire I don't think it's just the stadium. I think the entire planet has a
mm.
complete meltdown because he has no right to shoot from there and it goes top bins. And I'm just like,
It's a
it's
genuinely unbelievable
an
finish.
unbelievable finish. He can't believe it. None of the stadium can believe it. He runs off the pitch and goes celebrates with his wife. It's just unreal. Like I was genuinely like screaming my head off at whatever time of day it was, just going mental because it's just the most unbelievable thing. And then obviously typical Spurs, Romero ruining it in the last minute
Mm,
and heading in a goal for Argentina, which I think
I
was ruled as an
know.
own goal in the end. Actually, I don't even think it
It's
was a
an own
Romero
goal,
goal.
yeah.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but
It's unfortunate, but
I mean, what an unbelievable story from Cape Verde.
yeah,
And they go
I bet.
home with their heads held high
Oh
completely.
yeah, I've seen it. I've seen the reception they've got back home. But
Mm,
I said to you, I think this game, no game has deserved a penalty shootout
Argentina, Cape Verde,
more than
100%.
that game. It just deserved penalties.
It
It
should have
really
gone.
did.
It should have gone to penalties. It would have been so good. So good. But the other flip side of this was Australia, Egypt. A penalty shootout, 4-2 Egypt. I'll be honest, Harry Sousa just skying it over the bar.
Yeah, Terry Suter, this trend of centre backs taking penalties before attackers is weird.
Yeah, but I also think I've heard lots of players talk about this, saying that when you're on this kind of stage and you get to a penalty shootout, it's not like it's not like set takers like in the Prem where like, oh, Saka is taking it for Arsenal, Gyökeres is taking it for Arsenal. There's
Mm,
no like order of penalty takers designated ahead of time. It is just the man just sits there in the middle and goes, who wants it? And I
mm,
think sometimes you can tell when the older players are the centre back because they'll take them first, and you're like, okay, I know. You can sort of see it. And really, think Harry Souttar was always going to take one for Australia. It's just unfortunate where it went.
yeah.
But I mean, Egypt, I think, rightly deserved to go through. They played better. It was quite a boring game, frankly, to be honest. But I mean,
It wasn't amazing, but
1-1, which ended up 4-2 on penalties to Egypt. But I mean, Egypt go through to the round of 16. Australia can hold their heads up high that they got this far because they didn't play horribly.
mm,
But I mean, the Aussies go home, Egypt go through. We ended up with a round of 16 fixture of Argentina against Egypt, where Argentina won 3-2. Gotta say, kind of controversial this one, because I think lots of Egyptians felt, what is the word I'm looking for? Not mistrusted, done dirty by the
Well,
officiating in this game. Because
it's funny. I don't actually think there was too much. Like, there's all these conspiracies about Argentina. I don't think there was too much wrong with. Like, it's a shame because Egypt's goal that was disallowed. It's probably goal of the tournament. Genuinely, an incredible
no, it's up
move.
there. It's up there.
Genuinely incredible. It's such a shame. But it was a foul. He stepped on his foot, and he.
Mm.
It's a long way to go back, and I'm not so sure about that. But and then the foul on Salah is just not a foul.
It's not a foul. I mean, they want
It's
to
not a
make it a
foul. It's
foul so
typical.
bad.
It's typical Salah going
Yeah.
down very very easily. He's done it all in his career.
And it's
You
not.
know.
I do think that like there's less controversial calls in that game than people have made out. But I do think Egypt were a little bit on the buy. Like it was a little bit unfair. I do think. But that is also. I do also believe like that is just part of the game. Is unfortunately not even unfortunate. I think it's just part of the game. It's having the ref call something your way. There is an element of luck
Oh,
involved with it. It's not.
yeah,
It's
but
not such
what?
a precise science.
It's not precise, but what Egypt could have done is not conceded 3 goals.
That well, that'd be a start actually. Yeah, I agree. Maybe
That'd
maybe
be
if
a
you don't want to
start. I
lose,
mean,
don't concede three.
but it was weird because Argentina didn't really have to press them too hard.
No, but I mean
They sort of just crumbled.
Egypt were
They
2-0
they
up.
got one. Yeah, they got one. Then they didn't really do anything for Argentina. Then they got two. Then nothing happened. And then randomly Enzo Fernandez had one player with him in the box, and it was just a random cross in. And it's a weird moment
It
where
was a weird
I
moment.
think we all saw it coming, and then it happened, and then it was
It was done.
yeah.
It was over. But yeah, we've got to that. So Argentina go through as one of the quarterfinalists, and that leaves us to our last section of the bracket. Switzerland beat Algeria 2-0. Honestly, everyone saw that coming, even we did. We predicted it ahead
Yeah.
of time. Colombia, Ghana, 1-0 to Colombia. The first thing we have to say to this is it official that Ghanaian witchcraft has stopped in the World Cup because the witch doctor who cursed Kane to miss that shot, he's cast his last spell. There is no more effect. Colombia have beat witchcraft. I think that's a headline in itself that I don't think people are talking about enough. But yeah, 1-0 to Colombia. I mean, they were always going to win that, I think. There was obviously a little bit of play with the whole magic stuff, but realistically,
Yeah, it was always going to be a close game.
yeah, and it was,
And
and
then
Colombia go through.
once Colombia score within the first 12 minutes,
I was like, yeah,
you can't see Ghana getting back into it, to be honest. But
no, even with the witch
probably
doctor on the side of the pitch. But
one of my least interesting games of the whole tournament, actually.
yeah, and it was the last one of the round of 32 as well, which made it so much worse.
Yeah,
It's
and it
just
was in
like,
the middle of the night,
and
and
you're just like, come on, guys, just get it over with. Like,
it's
come
one
on.
of those ones where I didn't watch it, and even in the morning I thought, oh, what was the Colombia play? What was the score? Oh,
Oh,
it's
shock,
1-0,
1-0,
okay.
done, easy.
Yeah, I'm
So
glad I didn't stay up for that.
we get to the round of 16 where Switzerland play Colombia. 0-0 at the tie, 0-0 at the extra time. Goes to penalties, and Switzerland beat Colombia 4-3 on penalties, which I'll be honest, I didn't see coming. I really thought Colombia would get a
I
win in 90
thought
minutes.
Colombia would win that
I really thought they would win it,
fairly easily.
and they didn't.
I was actually worried that Colombia would beat Switzerland, beat Argentina,
And then
and
play
then we'd
us.
beat Norway and play Colombia, and
Yeah,
that would just be a nightmare.
it would be a nightmare, but luckily that's not
Because
happening anymore.
I just have PTSD from 2018 World Cup, that
Where
Colombia game.
where Pickford became an absolute English icon,
But
saving our
I
nation
mean,
on the penalties.
but funny thing about that game is Colombia and Switzerland, before, they did win, Switzerland had never won a game, not just a penalty shootout, had never won a game at a World Cup that had gone to extra time. Every game that had been to extra time involving Switzerland and Colombia, they've lost.
It is a World Cup of firsts, to be honest. There's lots of
It
first
really
times
is.
for everything in this tournament.
But I mean, one of them had to win it, and
Yeah, Switzerland go through, and they play the current
Switzerland go through,
reigning
and
world champions next, Argentina, Switzerland. So,
right.
to sum up, as the quarterfinal is approaching us starting tomorrow,
Mhm.
we've got our last four games. We've got France, Morocco, we've got Spain, Belgium, we've got Norway, England, and we've got Argentina, Switzerland. Like you said earlier, I think everyone's predicted semi-finals are still on the cards.
Mhm.
But I mean, let's just quickly run through these four games because I want to hear your predictions for how they're going to go with there being so few games left. So we'll start with France Morocco, which is the first game. What do you think is going to happen?
I can't look past France. I mean, how can you? How can you look past France?
Do you know what it is? I'm giving it 1-0 France, and I'm giving it a very close. I'm either giving it 1-0 or 2-1
Yeah,
France.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
giving
not
it
giving it.
that it's close. It's going to be like against Paraguay. It's going to be close.
Yeah, games aren't going to be 3-4-0 at this stage.
No, it'd be too. People will be too
They,
tense to go for
you know,
like.
they're gonna be France gonna win it 1-0, but they've been here before. They know what they're doing.
But so
Whereas
is
Morocco got
Morocco
to the
though.
semis. They got to the semis last time, but they're not gonna. I can't see them beating
I
France.
mean,
I
this
don't
is
think they've actually been good enough, to be honest,
it's an
Morocco.
exact repeat of last World Cup semi-final Morocco
Mm,
France. Last time France won 2-0. So maybe that happens again.
yeah,
I do. I'm going with
I'm
France
going
as
2-0
well.
France. Yeah,
I'm going 1-0 France. I'll keep it a little bit
I'll go
different.
2-0. I'd say Mbappe gets two.
I reckon Dembele gets it, Give it to
We'll
Dembele.
see.
But then fixture 2 is Spain against Belgium. I'll be honest, I actually think this is a 3-0 Spain.
It's one of those ones where Belgium don't particularly deserve to be there,
Yeah, which is why I think Spain win
but
it.
you almost kind of can't see like this stumbling momentum they've got. You can't see it ending.
Mm,
So it's kind of like I can see Belgium like just maybe. 'Cause Spain didn't look that good against,
Portugal.
and I think Spain are really missing Nico Williams being properly
Yeah,
fit.
yeah, they are.
Um,
But I just
so
think
if
that
he,
I think the matchup of players favours Spain in this fixture, though. That's my thing.
I think Spain. I just don't think Belgium. I don't know how Belgium have managed to get this far.
Luck of
I
the
mean,
draw.
from like winning their last group game to get through,
Yeah.
then coming back from 2-0 down against Senegal,
hmm
winning it in the very last minute,
Yeah.
then beating
And
America
annihilating the United
despite
States.
the Balogun red card controversy. I just can't like see this like weird momentum ending.
Hmm.
So I'm actually going to say Belgium are going to beat Spain.
Interesting. All right, so we're different on that one. So we'll see. We'll see who's right out of the two of us.
I said Belgium. I'm not confident on it.
I'm saying
And
Spain.
if Spain turn up, they'll win it 3-0.
Yeah.
But neither team. Spain didn't play very well last game. I think they are stuttering. I'm going to say
Hmm.
Belgium.
Fair enough. We've got Norway against England. Now, both of these teams coming off of historic wins for their nations, with obviously Norway
Mm.
beating Brazil spectacularly and England beating Mexico in Mexico spectacularly. So, who are you taking out of Norway, England?
Oh, it depends on the altitude.
Oh, that's true. We're not playing at the Azteca, we're
Because
playing in. Where are we playing this game, actually? That's a
it's in
great
Miami.
question. Is it Miami Stadium? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no
So,
altitude. Senior altitude is not part of that one.
so I don't think altitude's going to be fun because England have adjusted, so you never know.
Yeah, we got enough Viagra
Um,
to last as well.
that's just for after the game now.
Yeah, true.
This is if I was a neutral, right? If I was a neutral in this situation, I wouldn't know who to pick because I think England ultimately Bellingham and Kane. It's Bellingham and Kane versus Odegaard and Haaland,
Basically, yeah.
and I do think the way Odegaard and Haaland play, I think Odegaard's play style is a lot more involved than Bellingham's.
Hmm.
Bellingham will get you goals. Odegaard will dictate play. So if we can keep Odegaard quiet,
But can we stop
I think
Haaland?
I think if you stop Odegaard, you cut off a lot of what Haaland is about, and
Hmm.
you make it competitive. I wouldn't actually be surprised if we played three centre back
Hmm.
and put Dan Burn in there, stick on Haaland, and played a lot deeper.
I
It
wouldn't be
wouldn't surprise me.
surprised. I wouldn't be
I,
surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised because I mean, the only thing with England this time is there's such a good momentum behind England, and we have a manager who is a specialist at getting deep into tournament.
Hmm.
So I do think that we are in a better place than we ever have been
I think so. I
to win a
completely
game
agree.
like this. And I think the momentum and the play, if he gets it right too, sure, I think we'll win.
Hmm.
So I'll say England, but I'll go 2-1.
I'll say
I
England as
mean,
well. However, I'm actually saying England on penalties.
oh,
I
I don't
reckon
want that.
I know, but I reckon it's a 1-1 game. Extra time comes and goes. I reckon it goes to penalties, and I reckon it's genuinely like a 4-3 on penalties. That's how close I think it is. I really couldn't separate it. And I genuinely believe, and I mean this wholesomely, whoever wins this fixture gets to the final.
Yeah,
I genuinely believe this. I reckon because Argentina Switzerland is the other side of this. Whoever wins England Norway plays Argentina Switzerland, and I genuinely believe that. Well, I think Argentina will beat Switzerland to start with, which I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
mm,
But I believe whoever wins out of Norway England
we'll
beats
get to the final.
will get to the
Yeah,
final easy. Not maybe not easy, but they will get there.
not easy. I believe so. I mean, England Argentina would be such a great game.
Hmm.
in the semi-final, but you have to get there far. Yeah, I'd say England, and then Argentina, Switzerland. I mean, you can't really. Again, you can't. It's like the Egypt game. When I was watching Egypt Argentina game, I was like, this cannot. Messi's World Cup and Argentina's World Cup story cannot end at the hands of Egypt.
Hmm.
You know, because everything Messi's done is sort of movie-like, isn't it?
But I wouldn't be.
And it wouldn't be a good ending.
But
But
you
it
know what?
wouldn't surprise me if it's a
Switzerland,
similar.
Switzerland could do
It'll
it
be a
though.
similar game. Oh,
Mm.
it'll be another 3-2,
Mm.
2-1, 3-2 each time. Maybe Switzerland. I can see it going to penalties again. Switzerland will be a hard game for them
Yeah, I think so. I
because
think
they
it's a
have just
bad
beaten the
matchup.
South American side as well.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's the
Switzerland will be a hard game for them, but Argentina will win this.
I think it's the worst possible matchup for Argentina out of the remaining teams because it's the one team that's like actually played against someone similar to them.
Yeah, and they're sort of the again when you look at it. I mean, if Argentina get to the final, it'd be well, they've had a really easy run.
Yeah, if Switzerland get to the
Anyway,
final,
but Swiss, but then if they lose, I mean, you never know. But they could be difficult playing a inferior sort of team
mm,
because they play a bit differently. I mean, I think a lot of the big nations have had experience and have had troubles with lesser teams at this tournament. So
mm,
you never know. I'll go Argentina.
I'm gonna go Argentina as well. But I mean, we'll see
Be
what
close,
happens.
but I can't see them losing.
It's going to be close. I mean, we've only got a couple of days until all these fixtures are rounded off.
Mm.
I mean, the 12th is the Argentina-Switzerland game, which I believe is Sunday,
Yeah, because
Sunday
England play
morning,
Saturday.
Sunday morning at 2 in the morning, which is always fantastic. We love a good 2 a.m. kickoff.
Hmm.
But regardless of the fact, that is the quarterfinals. We will be back primed for what happens after this with the semi-finals in a couple of days. So hopefully you're excited for that because we're getting close to the end of this tournament now, which also means the end of season one of this podcast. Which I'm not ready to say goodbye yet to the first season of this, so we'll see how it goes. But that's everything from us for now, I think, unless we've got anything else to mention, which I don't think we do.
Uh, no.
Nah, nah. But look, this has been the Backseat Manager podcast, and hopefully everyone has enjoyed. And we'll be back in a few days' time to complete the what is this quarterfinals? Complete our quarterfinal run
Quarterfinals.
and see how our semi-final matches up, and whether we can accurately predict who's going to finally win this, frankly, quite amazing tournament. Because it's been amazing. It's been great fun
Mm,
and it's all coming to a close in almost just over a week from now. We will have a winner. So
what a shame.
I know, but them's the rules. That's the way it goes. Unless Infantino changes his mind and Trump goes, you know what? Let's just start again.
That's just a do-over. I mean,
Infantino, I've had a great idea. Let's just start the
Jesus,
whole
man.
tournament again from the
What
beginning.
what even what even is a final? You know,
What is a No one does
why
finals
do
better
things?
than me. I'm the greatest of
I
finals.
mean, I've had 2 terms as president. Why can't we have 2 World Cups?
Exactly.
You know, exactly,
Exactly.
exactly.